Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Hey, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Now, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome in. Hour number 2 of OTP. Really odd hour one.
Whatever. You telling me every other show on this station is not going to have the LSU baseball resume alongside the Pope's resume,
That's right,
one by one?
With a dash of Norse mythology.
And an 8-legged horse?
Yeah, exactly. And an 8-legged horse.
That was all one segment, by the
That's
way.
right. That's how we do it.
Like, that was incredible.
I'm quickly when this segment leaving around.
I just picked up what you said.
Oh, you couldn't understand it the first time.
I got it. I laughed the first time, too.
Hope everybody's having a great day, dude. It's Friday, which is, inherently kind of great. Looking forward to the weekend. Yeah, that's true. Chat's kind of saying kind of normal hour for y'all. Okay, good. That means that makes me happy. It means mission accomplished.
It means we have done our job.
Here on OTV.
And I never see Quinn in the chat, so I feel like he's one of those people that listens and is like, oh, what are they talking about? And then, like, we said how crazy it was. He's like, actually.
Yeah, no.
It's kind of normal.
Par for the course.
For y'all, so.
What about... I have topics that I want to get into, but I had something I wanted to ask first, and now I'm blanking on it. So maybe we just dive into the sports. Did y'all see? So President Trump has made an executive order to create a presidential or commission to save college football. At the head of the commission, he has placed Nick Saban and Texas Tech billionaire Cody Campbell.
Yep.
Their goal is where was it here? So the commission will also feature, quote, other college sports stakeholders, prominent business people with deep connections to college football, and perhaps even another former coach and administrator. Which is an interesting line from Ross Dellinger. I feel like he knows who that perhaps other coach and administrator is. I just don't know who it would be right now, but it's like a very obvious tease. But I guess the goals of the commission are thus, because this is, and we can guess this because of what Congress has been, what they've tried to get Congress to pass, right? Quote, a framework of any bill was expected to include 3 main concepts. 1, a limited antitrust protection that in part codifies the House settlement to allow the NCAA and power conferences to enforce eligibility and transfer rules, as well as rules around the new revenue sharing structure. We mentioned that yesterday.
Yeah.
Right? Like okay, I gotta go. I'm like, oh shit, it's not unlocked. I don't know.
Oh no. Oh, that is so good. Oh, Quinn, if you thought that last segment, this is peak OTB right here. But look, I got to stick up for my guy because sometimes in the mornings, like it's early, it's dark. You don't know that the kids left their favorite pair of school shoes in the car. They're under a seat. You got one here, one there. You don't know. Looking back in the back and you don't see anything. You feel like you got everything out, only to find out little Timmy can't go to school if he doesn't have his red Nikes. He doesn't want to wear the black or the white ones. He wants to wear the red ones.
Well, you're going to have to wear the black or the white ones.
Oh, that's what Katie Hester would say.
Yeah.
But, it happens.
It'd be like that.
No, it does. It does. Whose favorite pair of shoes?
Your
He
keys?
forgot
That's
the key. Oh, he
insane.
forgot the phone.
Oh, the phone.
This is really off the rails. And look, he was getting into like the nitty gritty of college football. And is this going to work? And I'm a meathead. Just tell me, did it happen? And when is it going to happen? And what's going to happen afterwards?
Who is Cody Campbell?
He is the NIL guy for Texas Tech. Like
Is he? I'm asking out of pure coincidence. Is he a Campbell Soup guy?
No, he is
I'm just saying,
not.
Billionaire named Campbell. I just gotta put.
No, putting two and two together. That's not a bad guess. No, he is not.
Oil and gas.
Yeah, like
Texas. That was my next.
That energy. Either way, he's got a lot of money. His pockets are deep with 3 E's in the middle, and he gives a lot of money to Texas Tech. That's why, like the last 2 years, they've had number one, number two class in the transfer portal. It's because of him. So again, like, okay, and it's Nick Saban, so y'all know how I feel about Coach Saban. Like, I think he's the GOAT. But how many times have we come on here and be like, hey, they're going to try this, and this is going to be like this committee they're putting together? Do y'all? Am I reading this wrong? Do y'all have any faith that
I don't
like
think
anything's going to happen?
I don't think you can go backwards. This is backwards in terms of the people who are like, hey, let all the power go to the players, let them get paid whatever they want. This is a step backwards. I don't think you can go backwards. I think the courts haven't allowed that.
Yeah.
I mean, you look, they have ruled against the NCAA and against things like this time and time again. I don't think getting Nick Saban involved is going to change that.
TD, I mean, you were in a good flow there, by the way. I was saying, they come up with all these different things. It's like, this is going to be appointed here, appointed there. Now, this time it is presidential.
So here's the deal. I think that more and more what we're seeing in I think our government, that office, and we talked about this, right? There's that new Common Sense episode with Dan Carlin that came out in March that is literally about this, right? The rise of the executive branch's powers. And this is not something that is just Donald Trump or Republicans. This is not something that is just Barack Obama or Democrats, both of who were, very executive order based. This is something that has gone on pretty much since the inception of the Constitution. Has been subsequent presidencies kind of taking more and more power. Like, I mean, FDR was again, if you read FDR's biography, it is shocking in his tactics how Trump-like he can be. But that's somebody who is like diametrically opposed kind of philosophically, right? So I guess the point of all this is don't nobody get defensive and think that I'm like attacking your guy or your favorite president or whatever. The fact is, presidents have been expanding their personal power. At the same time, Congress has been getting more and more gridlocked, harder to actually get anything done. And so you so often end up just saying, okay, throwing your hands up in the air, signing an executive order, and then I guess the courts have to approve it. So, like, look, they've put a dozen bills into Congress. None of them have gotten passed. I don't know if Congress should be wasting time on this anyway, giving some of the larger matters at play. And so, yeah, maybe this presidential commission, they go, they look, here's what they suggest, and maybe an executive order is the only way to actually get this stuff done. And again, so they want the limited antitrust protection. They want a clause, and this is interesting to me. They want a clause that deems athletes as students, not employees, with a possible sunset on that provision after a set number of years. So already, if they're putting a sunset clause in there, like, they know that that's kind of a losing battle. So it's interesting to me that they're not just kind of being more forward-thinking and going straight to employee status. And number 3, they want a preemption of existing NIL state laws, many of which contradict the settlement and other intangibles. So that's obvious as well, because right now there's no federal law, so state law rule the day, and it's a patchwork thing. They want a federal law that will preempt those.
Yeah, a lot of the coaches that I talk with that have other big schools in their state, you name it, Texas, even Mississippi, Georgia, wherever, Florida, they always talk about how big of a disadvantage they're at because, they've got people within the government in the state that they're in that went to that school and went to this school and went to that school. They only didn't go to their school. And they always talk about, well, Missouri's got advantages because Missouri's the only Division I football program there. They always say, hey, LSU's got advantages because they have other D1 programs, but everybody's LSU fans in Louisiana, so they're going to get whatever's best for LSU in their state. And so that's something Coach has been talking about for maybe 3 years now.
So, again, and that's something, I mean, look, that's what they've been lobbying Congress for, right, is for federal law to rule the day, which is interesting, right? College football, guys, we finally made it. We're back to one of the original American debates, states' rights or federal rights. And here we are. So those are going to be the goal of the commission. It would be expected at least. One thing that I got to give credit to here in terms of who they selected, Jake, because I told y'all I have a bit of hesitancy about Saban being at the head of this, not because of his leadership qualities. That's what I like about him being at the head of this. Obviously, nobody understands how to be a leader of men better than Nick Saban does. But I've called into question the fact that, look, he seems to want to try to put the toothpaste back in the tube. I also just vehemently disagree with this idea that it was ever an even playing field, though I think I understand the spirit of what he's getting at when he says that. But what I like about this pairing between him and Cody Campbell is, again, Saban's from the old school. He wants to go back. Cody Campbell's been one of the huge beneficiaries of this new system, or at least he's hoping to be. This is a guy who played at Texas Tech, spent a minute with the Colts, then got into oil and gas. He sold his oil and gas company for $4 billion. And now he's donated $25 million to Texas Tech football. He's basically giving them a blank check. That's why they're right there with LSU, the best transfer portal class in the entire country. So I do like that you have a balance there between him and Saban heading this up, where you're going to get a guy who's really advocated for this system, but probably wants you to have more guidance and a bit more clear framework within the work. And then you got a guy, Nick Saban, who's not necessarily a fan of the system. Like, that's a good setup for maybe reaching a good compromise about what this thing could look like going forward.
So yesterday when I was talking about this, I was wondering, like, what's the biggest thing? Because you're not going to get everything. So, like, what's the biggest thing that they feel like they can, in their eyes, fix? Like, what is the number one problem? When they talk to coaches, ADs, presidents, whoever, what is the one thing that you have to make sure that you get done? Because, like, they're not getting all of that done. Like, whatever they're setting out to get, they're not getting all of that achieved. So what, like, if you could fix one thing, I would love to sit down with Nick Saban, with all the people. What do you want to fix more than anything?
I think it has to be unlimited transfers. That's the root of all evil.
Yeah, I agree. Because then that is part of the NIL, where it's like every 6 months you have a free agent, you got to pay him, you got to like, if you stop that, you stop a lot of the 6 month transaction.
Twice a year, you have the implicit threat of all of your roster leaving.
Yes.
So they can constantly be arguing for leverage to get more money, regardless, even if it's just been the offseason. Just from December to March, they can, even though they haven't played in a game or done anything. So, to me, unlimited transfers is the root of all evil right now. But again, to enforce transfer rules, the NCAA would have to get that antitrust exemption, which... who knows? And who knows what the timeline and all this stuff looks like. Here's the deal. So we're calling him Tsar Nicholas, but I think what this ends with is the commission and him. I don't think he wants to be the guy. I think this ends most likely with him suggesting that Greg Sankey be the, whatever they end up saying, that, like, whatever they form the ruling body that they're going to pitch ends up taking. I think they probably say that Greg Sankey needs to be at the head of it. Unless he has too many enemies and too many people that are going to try to fight against that. But I imagine that's kind of how I see this ending.
I don't know how many enemies Greg has. I think he does a good job of making sure he plays nice with everyone. But
other conference commissioners, jealousy, it's a bit like the papacy trying to get that job.
Won't get that anywhere else. I don't know. I think Greg's done a nice job of making sure those relationships aren't burned. I completely understand what you're saying. If it's going to be somebody that is tied to a conference already, somebody that has ties like currently, it's got to be Greg Sankey.
Yeah.
He's the only one that would even, I personally think, would be qualified to do the job.
Yeah.
Like, I like Tony Petitti's done some nice things, but it's not Greg Sankey.
Well, Greg's been in it way longer. And it's kind of like Tony Petitti
is TV guy.
Got a really good contract for the Big Ten, but Greg laid a lot of the college football groundwork that got the money juiced up so much in the first place.
It's not going to be Yormark. I love Yormark's kind of like wing it Vegas style. Yeah. I think he's done great things for the Big 12. He's kept them relevant. They're much cooler than the ACC.
Yeah, true.
Right? So I think he's done cool things, but he's not ready to do anything close to that. If anybody that's tied to college football currently, like as far as a commissioner, president, whatever, Sankey's the only one that could even remotely have a chance of doing it.
Yeah, Mr. Big says Sankey's been playing this game for a while. Has been setting himself up for. He really has. He really has just been operating in the shadows, slowly but surely, climbing, amassing, and you talk to him and you can feel the aura, right? That kind of next level politician, thinker type of aura. So that's how I think this probably ends. But we'll see. We'll see. Again, this is Well, I guess the most interesting thing here in the short term is this House settlement is supposed to be kicking in soon. And how quickly will this commission operate, and does it affect that? Because this could potentially blow all of that up where it is right now. Who knows? Who knows?
As you were, like, when you were going to the car for third time, get it unlocked. Did you get it unlocked? No, you forgot your phone.
Yeah. I mean, look, I think it was unlocked to begin with, but I'm not going to have that argument.
I hope Caitlin's not listening. Honestly, I said, hey, when y'all figure something out, tell me. When y'all get something done, tell me.
Yeah.
When something actually is in the works, that's not just a, hey, we appointed this person, tell me. Because then I'll react to it, and then I'll break it down, and then we'll talk about it. But, T, I felt like we've talked about so many different things that, oh, we're going to put this together. We're going to do this. And here's the commission. Like, okay, so this one has the president involved and Nick Saban. Okay, it's different, sure. But what's going to happen? When's it going to happen? Tell me what happened, and then we'll react to it.
I think the reason why this one is potentially different, like, and why we didn't cover all the bills that they were constantly introducing to Congress, is simply the presidential factor. But again, this will be the last time that we talk to Jake's point. This will be the last time we talk until something happens. I just thought that the president actually getting involved in college football is worthy of kind of updating the story, if you will. So there you go. Czar Nicholas, can he figure out college football? And again, I think even though, look, it's going to be an intense debate because you're going to have the players sacrifice a lot of rights that they have right now or a lot of benefits they have right now. But in the end, I think a clear framework benefits all parties, right? Because everybody has a better understanding of how their decisions are going to affect their lives. Where right now there's such a Wild West feel to it that, you know, kids could get lured in with empty promises. Like, it's just all over the place. It makes it really hard to make good decisions when everything is so variable and crazy. All I know is Texas Tech better win the Big 12, right? I mean, if they can't win now, is it McClure?
But just because they did it last year too, and they're bringing in people like Micah Hudson, like they let him back on the team. Like, why?
I don't remember Micah Hudson. What's the story there?
All right, so 5-star player, one of the top receivers in the country, signed with Texas Tech out of high school, and people were surprised just because he was so highly rated. He had offers from everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, so he signs there, doesn't do a whole lot. What do you have, Taylor? Like 300 yards receiving? Maybe not even that.
Maybe not even that. I think he had like maybe 18 catches.
It was so it didn't do a lot. Well, then here in this first portal window, like he put himself out there in the transfer portal, and he had crazy demands. Do you not remember his demand list where he's like he wants like travel for his family. He wants a personal driver and an Escalade picking him up.
I didn't know that a name was attached to that story.
Yeah.
I thought it was anonymous. That was Hudson.
That was Micah Hudson. Yes. So he goes to Texas A&M, right, through the portal, and is there, what, Tay? 3 months?
I think he enrolled before spring and left after spring.
Yeah, and went back to Texas Tech.
Probably got paid some, too.
Yeah,
like Ian Maliava did.
I mean, A&M, if anybody's going to pay a dude for nothing, it's Texas A&M.
And then goes back to Texas Tech. Like, that's what you...
That's
like,
red flag central. Yeah, see, so that's my problem is that's on... It is McClure. Is it McClure, right? Matt? McGuire.
Joey McGuire.
Joey McGuire. Matt McClure. I was way off. That is... That's the point, though, where, like, the head coach has got to take pride in his culture and stand up. It's like Heupel say, nah, look, we're not... Look, I know we're probably worse getting rid of Nico at this point, but, like, it's over. You can't... Nobody's bigger than the T. Nobody's bigger than the TT. That's what Mac McClung needs to do.
Now you're going to break my brain. It's Joey McGuire.
That's the white boy that can jump.
For what it's worth, Micah Hudson had 8 catches last year.
There you go, dude.
8 for 123.
Okay, they don't need to win the Big 12, but like Texas Tech has to be good, or Joey McGuire's got to go. You have way too much money in.
Yeah, I was about to say like the standard of a Texas Tech isn't to go out there and like play for championships or anything, but I understand completely what you're saying.
But now you can though.
Now you're putting all of these resources. You have a roster that's competitive money wise with the big boys. Like you're putting up a lot of the same dollar amounts that some of the teams that play for national championships
and you're
are.
in a winnable conference. It's a good one, but it's winnable.
Yeah, it's deeper than most as far as like the totality of the conference. True. It doesn't have the heavy hitters, but you got to do something. You can't go out there and win even 8 games because last year you were 8-5.
I know it's terrible. Like it's inexcusable.
Yeah, nobody's going to get excited when you're spending that much money about 8-5.
No,
I mean Coach Leach was 8-5. Like they consistently played 9 wins. In that range. When he didn't have all this money, he had all the challenges.
What are you talking about? It was an even playing field. T-Bot says, fun fact, Teddy Roosevelt started the modern NCAA with the same kind of executive action. That is interesting. I didn't know that. All right.
I would have Iowa State, BYU, Arizona State, probably still ahead, though, of Texas Tech.
More Off the Bench coming up next.
Off the Bench.
Yeah, Sam Levitt, dude. Back.
Don't sleep on the Cougs either.
Jake Retzloff.
He's back.
He wasn't that good last year, but maybe he gets better. Go to CoolProHVAC.com.
Rocco Beck.
You know I love Rocco.
Yep.
Rocco's my guy. Iowa State's my team. Go to CoolProHVAC.com. Cool Pro HVAC, look, no dispatch fees, okay, guys? So there's no risk to have them come to look at your system. And make sure you're good to go and you're going to avoid any catastrophic issues down the road. So don't think twice about it. Get Cool Pro out before the summer. Make sure you're good to go. CoolProHVAC.com.
225-350-4397. That is the number. I mean, no dispatch fee, right? 1 hour windows, which I just like that selling point to me. Not having to wait 4 to 6 hours and maybe they show up. You know exactly where they're at and when they're going to be at your home. CoolProHVAC.com.
Back to sports talk. Maybe. Off the bench.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to Off the Bench. Hey, guys. The New Orleans Saints rookies got some numbers. How about it? That's right. Kelvin Banks Jr. going to be rocking the Ram chick, number 71.
Time for another Chinese jersey.
No, good jersey to invest in. But if I was going to buy a Saints O-line jersey right now, I think I like a Fuaga jersey better.
Fuaga.
It's just something cooler about it.
McCoy's a good one.
No.
Can I be honest?
Yes.
I don't care about the rookies' numbers.
What?
I don't really care.
Wait, but Kel Banks 71.
Cool. I don't really
But
care.
Tyler Shuck's number 6.
Congrats.
He should have gone with 18.
Danny Stutzman's 47.
Oh, that's ugly.
Oh, jeez.
No.
Danny.
That's a War Daddy number. And you know that to be the case.
Reminds me
Like,
of
I want him
He
to wear
ain't going to see the field on defense, but he will be all over special teams.
I wanted him to wear 44.
I like 44
Well,
better
like,
than
does anybody-
47.
I'm trying to think.
47 better. I don't
44
know,
with
man.
a neck roll.
Who has 44 on the Saints? I'm trying to think.
I don't know.
I kind of like 47. We're not into 47 at all. Agent 47?
There's only 140.
Hitman?
There's only 147 that I recognize.
Agent 47 could be a good nickname for him if he ends up being a beast. You seen the Hitman movie with Timothy Olyphant? Remember that? The old video game?
Yeah.
Timothy Oliphant,
Fine.
underrated.
Fine as hell.
Fine as hell, but underrated actor.
Good
I agree.
actor.
Quincy Riley's going to be 29.
Debo.
Yeah, taking over Debo's number. Devin Neal, 30.
That's also kind of ugly.
Don't love.
There's worse running back numbers, but that one's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad.
I hate that as a running
Oh,
back.
God.
number.
They gave Amari Thomas 74. What are they, cutting him? Jeez, a D lineman 74?
Yeah.
That's awful.
Not great.
Isn't that what Big Fave wore in New Orleans?
I don't know.
Feels like it.
Ooh, okay, strong play here. Moochie Dixon got 84. Guaranteed making the team UDFA. Shout out Moochie. I did it all for the Moochie, number 84.
The Moochie.
Yeah, so there it is. Your Saints rookie numbers. I know we're supposed to make this into a segment for
Yay.
YouTube, Taylor. I don't know what
Oh,
else to do.
Tay, I don't know.
Oh,
man.
my
I don't know
bad.
how
I
else
feel
to
like
talk
I
about
ruined
it.
that one.
I
I
don't
didn't know
how
this
else
was
to
for
talk
YouTube.
about this. I don't know how
If
else to
Shuck
talk
would have
about
picked 18, maybe I would have had a little bit of passion about it. I could have found something, made up something.
it. I'm glad that
you like the 18?
Oh, it's a great number. What do you mean?
is it Rattler already 18 though?
No,
He switched
2.
to 2.
Oh, okay.
He didn't have the shoulders for 18.
No, he's way too slight.
Yeah.
The 18 was swallowing him up.
Yeah, it was.
It made him look smaller. 2's a much better number for him. Okay, speaking of 2, then did y'all see the latest Shadur Sanders drama?
No,
Yes.
God no.
Yes,
So
I
they
did.
gave number 2 to like some like journeyman wide receiver who's on his like 6th team,
DeAndre Carter, I think is who it was.
Yeah, I played for the
And-
Chargers. Yeah.
and Shadur's like main like social media guy who films everything and
camp.
everything.
It's camp. Everybody's got a
kind of
camp.
leader is
I hate
camp.
that saying.
God, you said that in such a old Livingston Parish way.
I mean, I do hate it too.
You don't like everybody having a
Everybody's like,
camp.
Everybody's got a
camp.
camp. We don't know what it means, but everybody's got a camp.
Taylor's 1 inch away from saying posse. He really wants to just get really mad about players' posses. But no, but the point is, so this guy goes to Instagram and he has this whole post about like how wrong it is that they gave this number to this
You're a
UDFA.
5th round pick.
Bro, I know.
You're a 5th rounder.
I know. And he's like, but we already knew it was coming. We're gonna keep going, stay legendary.
Okay.
Oh my
The
God.
consistency of the way Shador is incredibly entitled and then has a chip on his shoulder about it is ridiculous.
So this is
Like-
this is where though I arrived at first was like, oh man, sure, what are we doing, baby? We need to stay low right now. Like now it's time to keep your head down. But then I realized like, no, like wait, that's never going to happen. He just has to play well.
I wonder how.
Like
I
he's
wonder
going
why
to
he went in the 5th
continue to
round.
think that he's the man.
Shocking.
He's going to continue to act as if he's the man.
Yeah.
Now he just has to go play like the man. Like he's not changing.
No, I agree and understand that, but it's still true.
Yeah.
That he is incredibly entitled and then like if it doesn't go his way, has a chip on his shoulder about it, and I don't ever feel like he really does anything with that chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, look, he's been good. Like he's been a very good football player up to this point. I don't know if he'll make it in the NFL or not, but
I just like for somebody to come on there and act like they were like they should have been given number
Like the chosen
2.
Yeah.
one or something.
Like,
also, no, it's crazy.
The only thing that would
My
have been
guy,
funnier,
what?
You're a 5th round pick.
the only
you're
thing that would have
5th
been
rounder.
funnier is if they'd have given 2 to Dylan Gabriel. I would have loved that so much.
And if he had asked for it, he would have got it
amazing.
because he was picked before
That
him.
is the other
Let's
dumb
do
part
more
about
Dylan.
this.
If I was
though.
Dylan,
That's
I'd
the
have
way
done
it
it.
goes.
Let's do grass. Let's do more fireworks.
I'd have done it.
That is the other. Did you see?
Entitled to
Did,
number 2.
did you see Dylan Gabriel bird calling?
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
Before the
no,
draft?
but I need to see this.
It's very good. But anyway,
He
Like,
might be
this
my
is,
new
like,
favorite.
How it works is the top pick gets choice, the next pick, the next pick, the next pick. I wanted 20. They said, hey, Kason just took 20. He was a 1st rounder. You're our 2nd pick.
yeah.
It's gone. Okay. Can't get 20 because that's the way the pecking order works. What do you have? They tell you what you have and you choose. Like there's not a 5th round pick that is going to choose above all the picks before him. Now, the 6th and 7th rounder, he gets to choose before you do. It's the way that it's always worked.
Yeah, and this receiver's been a free
It's-
agent. Now he's
there's-
never worn 2 before, which is
He
funny.
wore one. He wore one most
Here-
places.
I mean,
Here-
Jake, I'm assuming he even gets priority over the rookies.
oh, yes.
Yeah, for sure.
He's a vested veteran
Yes.
in the NFL.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't care
But
who
like,
you are.
All this talk about them being like, you gave it to a journeyman. That journeyman's been in the league for like 5 years now, man.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
a vet.
Yeah, he is. Yes.
He has proven more than anybody in that rookie class.
Do y'all think the Browns gave him the number though, or he asked for 2?
I hope he asked for it.
I hope he asked for it too.
No, I hope the Browns gave it.
Because if
That's
the
even
Browns
funnier.
gave it to him, then like, what are the Browns even doing?
That's
They're
funny.
just like, I mean, they're trying to. I get where they still trying to break the ego. Like,
Look,
why did you draft him if that's the
Anybody,
case?
though, that was crying and all shocked that he didn't go in the 1st round, you shouldn't have been shocked. We talked about that on this show all the time. His action since being drafted tells you everything you need to know about why he got picked in the 5th
No,
round.
look.
But he does.
The one, I don't know. I do kind of like how he conducted himself during the fall. I feel like he met it head on. He kept a brave face on.
I mean, putting out a video
Stay
saying
positive.
we all know this shouldn't have happened.
So I ended up flipping a little bit on that where, so I remember we were clowning that and it sounds very self-serving and it is, but like you could also approach it from, he meant that because he legitimately thought he was going to be a top 5 pick or top 10 pick.
I don't know how.
Exactly. That's
look,
still like the same.
No, I
way.
know. No. It's entitlement. It's everything you said. It's a lack of reality. I mean, the thing is, the line that somebody framed it like this, and I wish I could remember who, but somebody said he treated these trips like they were recruiting trips, not job interviews.
Yeah.
And that's pretty fundamental and I think very succinct in terms of explaining what went wrong. Like these NFL teams weren't recruiting you.
No.
Yeah.
You were interviewing them.
For a job.
They were interviewing you, to see if you were good enough for them to put resources into.
I get it, but the stories that are coming out, like when he wasn't prepared in the Giants interview, Brian Daboll rightfully called him out for not being prepared, and Shedeur gets pissed off that Brian Daboll calls him out?
I didn't see that.
Like, who do you think you are?
Shedeur Sanders did.
Good, you're a 5th-round pick. Congrats.
Ooh, don't let Shedeur be good, though.
And
but
if
really,
he is,
Does it matter
congrats
if he
to
is or
him.
not? Yeah, does it
Like,
matter?
But
I would
everybody
love it
should.
so you'd have to eat it. You'd be
Everybody
so
should
upset.
start their career like all the players before them started their career, like choosing a number, like whatever it is. Like there's always been a way that you go about it,
Yeah.
and then when you become a vet, you get to choose the number.
Yeah, I agree, dude. I mean, I don't disagree with
This
you.
man's played 7 years in the NFL. I don't care what his stats are.
Yeah.
I don't care what his receiving stats are. He's more of a special teams guy, returner. Okay. 7 years in the NFL. If he wants number 2, he's getting number 2.
I will say this, though. If Shedeur somehow makes it in the 7th circle of quarterbacking hell that is Cleveland, you think he's entitled and cocky now? He will be unstoppable.
Insufferable is probably a better word.
He's already insufferable.
Yes.
But, I mean, to
so
your
if you
point,
already
though-
find him insufferable, what's one step beyond insufferable? Because that's where you're going to live, Taylor.
To your point of being like, he genuinely thought he was going to be a top 5 pick. None of us in this room are in NFL front offices, and we all pretty much unanimously agreed that he was going to go like 20, 25
Yeah.
at the highest. So like, the delusion is just
You
I
know
don't
what
get
I
it.
you know what
Delusions
I knew?
of grandeur.
There's like last season a video came out where he was blaming his O-line for not
Yeah, the
performing
Nebraska,
well in a
that's the
game.
worst clip.
And
That is the biggest negative because I've been a Shedeur supporter. That's the biggest negative to me.
that is the probably number one people you don't want to piss off on your team.
Yeah.
If you're the quarterback.
Yeah.
And you're blaming
Well,
you threw them under the bus.
and I still just agree with the accepted best practice, which is even if and it really was their fault.
Yeah.
He was just too honest.
Right.
Like as a quarterback, you just have to lie.
Yeah.
And you have to say it's on me.
Yeah.
It just comes to the territory. It is what it is.
Like Derek Carr could never do that either.
Yeah, and look at where it's gotten him.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
I get that, but I mean, look, Jake had mentioned the number that was brought up about the 52 sacks, but over 40 of them he held the ball 4 seconds or longer. I understand the Colorado offensive line wasn't good. Nobody's going to argue that. He didn't do him any favors. He didn't do himself any favors.
Yeah, no, for sure. Again, we've talked about it before. The question is, did he hold it that long trying to make a play, or is he a slow processor? And that's going to decide whether he makes it or not. Because he's going to make it based on his brain. Nookie says, Pablo, speaking of stories that I kind of hate but can't quit, Pablo Torres reported that Jordan Hudson's been banned from the UNC facilities.
I want all the tea on this.
All right, more OTB coming up
Alondra,
next.
get on it.
Off the bench.
Go to centralplumbing.org, 925-8552, centralplumbing.org, 925-8552. Central Plumbing there for you when you need them, guys. Central Plumbing they've been doing it for 50 years, guys. So you're not going to be able to hit them with a problem that they don't know how to solve. And how do you stand the test of time in the way that they have? Because your customers are consistently satisfied. So, you want to take advantage of the flat rate pricing, licensed, bonded, and insured employees, the excellent service windows, the warranty once the work is done. You want Central Plumbing, 925-8552. Go to centralplumbing.org today.
Yeah, it's 24/7, 365, weekend, holiday, game day. You call that emergency number, not only in Central. We tell you that all the time. Greater Baton Rouge area, we are talking to you, now including Central, but whatever you've got, emergency, that number to call, 225-925-8552.
Back from the break, where the sports talk gets real. Kinda. Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back off the bench. So Pablo Torre has apparently gone deep on Jordan Hudson. In the latest episode of Pablo Torre Finds Out, PTFO, says he talked to 11 people who dealt directly with Jordan Hudson as she took power in Bill Belichick's life. A lot is getting aggregated from this episode because this is the episode that has the clips about him talking about the news that we just mentioned, which is
wait, the CBS. Is this what you're talking? What are you talking about?
Yeah, that she's been banned from the facility. Yeah. This all comes out of the Pablo Torre podcast.
Oh, okay.
All this information. That's why he said it's getting aggregated a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But so if you really want to know, go listen to that episode. But yes, it seems that. She has been banned from the football facility. Obviously, I mean, look, he's the highest paid citizen in North Carolina, public official or whatever, $10 million a year. It's not been a good look. It says one Belichick family source adds, quote, there is deep worry for how detrimental Jordan can be, not just for North Carolina, but Bill's legacy, reputation, and everything he's built and worked for over the decades. He also mentions a story about a commercial that Belichick did for, is this a gambling company maybe? It looks like maybe like a fantasy commercial or something, but it says that Jordan like crashed the set of the commercial. She left, came back in a yellow polka dot bikini.
What?
Trying to get into the commercial. They say the crew filmed her, but the camera might not have been on. So I guess the point of that story is just that she's kind of just wilding out a little bit.
Placating her is hilarious.
You can be in the commercial here. Look, we'll get a couple shots. That's so funny.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. It seems like Bill's kind of lost in the sauce a little bit right now.
He's absolutely
sounds
lost
like too.
in the
He's
sauce.
probably doing family like war with his family a little bit over this. Like
well,
you know, like you said,
I
family
feel like
sources
if
are
I were
worried
his
about it.
kids, I would be worried. Yes.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me that they don't believe in this relationship?
Well, and remember, Steve Belichick's wife got a little spicy on Instagram.
Wait, really?
Mm-hmm.
I missed this.
When the news cycle changed to like some people like Edelman and stuff kind of defending her, saying like she was just doing what a PR person does. And the wife hopped in and was like, a real professional PR person doesn't act like this.
100%, she's right.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, I mean, if I were his kids or anybody in his family, I would be pretty upset about this.
Yeah.
You think Belichick's secretly happy she got banned from the football facility, though?
Like, oh, thank God.
Dude.
She's been up my ass, man. I can't even watch film. Can't even watch film. What a disaster for UNC. This is not what you thought you were getting into.
So Julian Edelman changed his tone, though, because I saw this whenever I was trying to look for the Jordan Hudson stuff. He's now saying she's a distraction. So
well, duh. I mean, there's never been anything more obvious.
Took Julian long enough.
We have talked about UNC a lot this offseason, but all it's been to is in relation to Jordan Hudson.
Yeah.
And not even wearing the UNC gear on that interview. It's just bad. It's just bad all around.
Yeah, wearing it's Navy, but still another school.
And I get it. It's like where's dad and everything, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're paying you $10 million a year. Like we said, highest paid public employee in the state of North Carolina. Disaster. I'd be pissed. Here Duke is, Darian Mensah, feeling confident, 9 wins last year. You looking like a joke.
Clemson, little old Clemson.
Little old Clemson. I mean, well, that ain't even close. Freaking Clemson. Damn it. We did figure out the Pope is from Louisiana, though.
His dad is.
Of Wills Parish, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Which I feel like is a great sign for the LSU season opener. We kind of mentioned Notre Dame and Clemson being Catholics versus Protestants. Mm-hmm. Clemson's not Catholics versus Protestants. You know,
that's actually fair.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
American Pope from Louisiana, Catholicism stronger than ever.
Yeah, but I'll go
Eat it, Dabo.
back to the fall when Gail met the Pope.
Yeah.
And we see how the Saints season went.
Yeah,
Old
but
Pope, though. New Pope.
yeah,
New disc.
new Pope, new luck, right?
Yep. New Pope.
And that one
like
didn't
that.
have Louisiana ties.
New vibes. Liked Francis. Not a boot guy. Not a Louisiana
Nah,
guy.
true. I guess so.
Pope
You're right.
Leo. Pope Leo Ziana. More like. All right, let's go to break.
What's wrong with you?
Off the bench.
Oh, man. Of course, T-Bot made a Matthew Martyr Musso candle. Go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. Guys, you go see them off of Airline in Goodwood. Very convenient, located no matter where you're listening from. And your next car is at All-Star. And summer starts here with some incredible deals and savings you can go check out on the website. Whether you're buying new, Toyota certified used vehicle, or you just need a rent for a vacay or something, we got it all. We also have a great body shop and service center ready to go with free professional estimates, excellent lines of communications that open to all makes and models. Mention OTB, get $250 towards the deductible. Go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.
When you go to the website, check out what you can buy new, what you can lease, and what you can rent. Everything is available in all three of those processes. Not going to find that anywhere else. Here we are, May the 9th, summer vacation right around the corner. Make sure you have your rental reserved. Call Miss Lisa Sessions today in that rental department, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
Back to sports talk. Maybe. Off the bench.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Hope everybody's having a great day out there today. LSU softball gets eliminated from the SC tournament yesterday by Oklahoma. Hard-fought game, man. Sooners get the win 4-1. I mean, Oklahoma's won the last 4 natties. No shame there. Selection show going to be Sunday. Find out what the bracket looks like, where LSU's eventual fate will lie. Any chance at hosting a regional?
Yes.
Okay.
They could be a top, what is it, 16?
16,
Yeah.
yeah.
They're not going to be a top 8, but they
No.
could be a top 16.
And then Taylor put this in here, and somebody else filled in a lot of information. But shout out to LSU Shreveport, the Pilots.
Let's go, baby.
Alondra, you the one who typed some of this out? Or
Yeah.
Jake? Okay.
Taylor put it in there, and then I just went to go look at some of their stuff.
So head coach Brad Neffendorf named Coach of the Year. But how about this, guys? They just completed the regular season with a perfect 51-0 record.
Let's go.
51-0. 30-0 in RRAC play. Is that like conference play? I'm guessing?
Yeah. Red River Athletic Conference.
Okay, they won the Red River Athletic Conference. Obviously, they've shattered the NIAIA all-time record for consecutive wins. It was set at 41. They beat Texas College 37-0 and 42-4. They have 13 shutouts on the season, and opponents are hitting only 190.
Oh, my God.
Team ERA of 219, and what was the
Team ERA of
219? And then Tay, what was the
Here's the craziest part. The teams that are pitching against them, 12.66 ERA. That's because they're 368 as a team. They got 4 guys in their everyday lineup hitting over 400.
What?
They've won over 20 games by 10 runs or more.
Yeah.
Listen to their
God,
3 weekend
go
starters.
Pilots.
Their 3 weekend starters. 219 ERA, 189 ERA, 139 ERA.
I think that's
Those 3 guys.
That's insane.
117 Ks, 102, and 95.
Good God.
It's just.
Neffendorf. Hell of a
Oh,
name.
and those 3 starters have given up a combined 6 home runs all year.
That's
Is it funny how
crazy.
they say ERA? Like not ERA, but like the 219. I say 219.
I think you might be the only person that does that.
Really?
I mean, they're both technically correct, so it didn't.
What, so
I mean,
you
it
say
didn't
the
matter.
you say every number?
You're like,
you're
yeah,
saying?
give me the Saturday guy's number.
Saturday. I mean, I don't know which
You
one's
would
the
say.
Saturday, but
Middle way. Second guy.
1.89.
But you said 189.
I normally say the small. I
189.
normally say the small number. Like I'll say 219, but I'll say like 1.89.
Well, no, you said 189, but it doesn't
Okay,
matter. I
189.
say 189. Don't say point. What are you, a freaking
I don't
nerd?
do the point.
Okay.
Yeah, get
well,
out of here, dude. Take
I
a
just say
lap.
like 189 ERA
Well, the
or
decimal
like a
point.
219 ERA.
Am I the weird one for 189?
Yeah, 'cause
Maybe, I don't
batting
know.
average we do that because batting average is technically like 0.297, but
Yeah.
we just say like 220.
Yeah, exactly. So don't say the point. We can all agree not to say the point.
I would say
Yeah.
he's got a 189 ERA.
Yeah.
I'd
You would
say
say 189 as
Yeah.
well?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Never mind. I guess I'm the weird one.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Pilots, though. 51-0.
Let's go, Port City, baby.
Perfect record. LSU kicking ass. Hour 3 coming up next.
Off the bench.
K to Z Interiors and Outdoor Living. K to Z Interiors and Outdoor Living, man. They are, they're the experts. If you want drapery, blinds, shutters, shades, maybe get some drop-down exterior shading for the outside, for that outdoor kitchen. You say chilling while you're grilling this summer. How about this? First off, invest in your home. Nothing's going to tie the room together, bring it to the next level more than the correct drapery, blinds, shades. How about you have Brandon and the team out to your home? Get that free complimentary estimate. Let them lay out exactly what options you have and benefit. Complimentary installation as well. KTC Interiors and Outdoor Living.
Yeah, when they install, man, it's going to be a quick process as well. So it's a quick process, them coming into your space, knowing your space, but also the installation process. You're not going to find it anywhere else. Have Brandon and the team, like T-Bob said, ktozblinds.com.